Hey friends, welcome back to Watavue Mountain. You guessed it, just like the title says, it's time for another tailgate review. Now we stumbled across this bad boy. It's the Petra Tools fogger. It's a 4-gallon fogger. I've used it in the past. A good buddy of mine, AJ, has one. He's let me borrow it a couple times and decided to get me one. So let's get this bad boy cracked open, see what it's all about. We'll explain most of what we can, and then we'll give it a test run, and I'm going to show you how far this thing actually sprays. It's absolutely amazing. We'll talk a little bit about the chemicals that you can use and all that good stuff. So thanks for coming. Thanks for checking us out. Petra Tools fogger, 4-gallon backpack. Let's get into it. So we get her open. Lots of information here. Little magazine with professional lawn care solutions. Talks about other backpack sprayers they have. All the different things, liquid nitrogen, liquid fertilizer, lawn aerator, green paint for your lawn, herbicides, surfactants. They have a whole bunch of different things that they sell themselves, but of course you can use whatever you want, whether it's for your lawn or for insect control. I've been using WP Demon to spray. I've been using just a backpack sprayer, so it makes it difficult to hit those high peaks and those eaves here in suburbia as well as at the mountain. What else do we have here? Some extended warranty information, questions about the products, 10% off coupon. So if we decide to buy any of their products, 10%. Fogger mist blower instruction manual. We might have to come back to that. Let's see. Pull it out of the box. Pretty well already assembled. I don't know if I mentioned it, but you do have to plug it in. So at the mountain, that makes it a little trickier. Let's see, I got a tube here going nowhere. You know, let me bust open the instructions real quick and see what we got to do. Well, that's cool. It says watch the video, but we're not going to watch a video. So essentially it says put this clear pipe in here. This clear pipe goes in here too, and then you just screw this bad boy on. Alright, there you go. Make sure it's off. Fill it up with what you want. Adjustable sprayer. Okay, so here's our fill. Here's our fill spot. Of course, it's got a screen in it, so you can put, just like most quality backpack sprayers. So you filter out any trash in case you get some in there. Now, just from experience, I know that once we put something in here, this has to be on tight. If it's not, you're going to be in a pickle. Some extra components here. Looks like an extra nozzle and an extra controller. And the controller right here, this controls how much spray comes out. Let me get you closer as you can see. All right, so this is your controller. You see it says off here. I don't know if you can appreciate that, but it says off, and then you turn it to 1, 2, or 3. 3 meaning the most spray that you can get, most product. And then here's your off and on switch. It's that simple. And then this little nozzle right here, if we can focus on that, is where all the magic happens. So it's that simple. You just pull it out. It's pretty much ready to go. Your clear tubes are in place. Your tubes inside are in place. And then inside there's more tubes that help with the pressurization. So let me throw some water in this, get some power, back the camera up, and I'll just show you what we're talking about. Something I forgot to mention, the whole unit itself weighs about 14 pounds, which isn't terribly heavy. And of course, each gallon of water is going to weigh 8 pounds per gallon. Just some simple math. So, like I said, here we go. We're going to go ahead and hit the on switch. It's going to get kind of loud, so I'm going to try to talk louder, but this thing's on my back, the mic's on the front. We'll see how it works out. We're going to do on. We're going to go from off to 1 to 2 to 3, just so you can hopefully appreciate how much of a difference in product that it's going to spit out. So here we go with the on. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. So you might be saying, well, listen, I got a backpack sprayer. I don't need a fogger. It says it goes up to 20 feet. You probably can't appreciate it here, just me shooting it out into the yard, but I'm going to turn around so you can see we got a peak right here at the edge of the house, and it's probably close to 30 feet. So let me turn the camera around. I'm going to stand underneath it. I don't know if you'll be able to see me and the spraying and all that all at the same time, but I want you to understand this is almost 30 feet up to the top of these windows, and you can just see how well it does. All right, so understand you're probably not going to see me for this portion, but you'll get the picture, okay? So you can clearly see it has zero issue reaching all the way up there. And again, people are saying, well, why do I need that to have a backpack sprayer? Well, now I don't have to get on a ladder. I don't have to climb up anything. I can just stand on the ground. This is going to shoot all the way up there, especially for those folks that are, say, off-grid in a structure that's wood, that is exposed, have trouble with carpenter bees. That WP Demon does a fantastic job of eradicating those carpenter bees. And this keeps you off the ladder. Now, of course, if you're 40 or 50 feet high on the edges and the eaves of your house, then yeah, you might have to get on a ladder. But you'd have to get on a much higher ladder if you were going to use a backpack sprayer as opposed to this guy. One thing to note, so I don't know if it'll do it now, but if you leave that open, so I have it open so the product will come out. If I hold it down, well, now it's not going to do it, but it was leaking earlier. So if you leave it on 1, 2, or 3 and you let this hang down, your product's going to leak out. So make sure you turn it off with the power button, as well as turn this off so it shuts off the flow to the end of the unit. So let's move back over to the tailgate, and then we're going to talk about some product application. Okay, straight out of the manual, let's talk about what they call product manual. All right. They don't recommend anything thicker than water. Most chemicals that you're going to spray, whether they're in your yard as a chemical fertilizer, like we mentioned, or an herbicide, a pesticide, like I said, the WP Demon that we use around here, once you mix it, it's going to be just as thin as water. So that's perfectly okay. It says don't use to spray highly toxic chemicals, ban pesticides, da-da-da. Obviously, you're not going to put flammable liquids in here. This little motor gets hot as it runs for a long time. If you put something flammable in there, then eventually that's going to catch on fire, and that's going to be a bad day for you. Again, it mentions make sure you put the lid on tight because that's how it pressurizes and sprays the product out. Don't overheat it. Inspect it every time you use it. Always wear your manufacturer's recommended stuff, which is going to come from whatever product you're spraying. So if you're spraying an herbicide maybe, or a pesticide rather, it might say wear a face shield or goggles or a mask or something to that effect. So just make sure you're being safe. Of course, you're not going to put paint in this. It'd be nice because you can, like I said, it'll really sling it, and you could probably get some paint up in some big areas. So if you're in the market, if you're one of those guys like me, like I said, I've been using a 3 or 4 gallon pump sprayer for years just to spray around the house. I'd climb up on a ladder to spray my eaves to get rid of spiders and wasps and all that stuff. And this thing just makes it so much easier, especially at the cabin where I can spray underneath the tiny cabin that's 16 by 24 for those of you who haven't seen it. It's up on stilts, only about 6 feet at the high end, 3 feet at the low end. And I can just stand there and I can spray underneath it, and then I don't have to worry about critters and creepy crawlies getting underneath there and nesting underneath the cabin. Same thing in the pole barn. I can spray up into the eaves of the pole barn all the way up into the rafters, and it hits the metal. It's only 18 feet to the top, but I can saturate that ceiling with product with this Petra Tools fogger. So you know, not something I necessarily was out looking for because I was happy with the sprayer. Now that I've used it, I see it in action. You see how easy it is. I literally pulled it out of the box, screwed it together, moved a couple hoses around, and we're in business. So hopefully this helps. I show you how easy it is. I promise you, if it was any harder than this, I would let you know. I'd be the one guy that would have some kind of issue, but you saw what we did. We screwed it together. I threw some water in it. I plugged it in, and pow, it starts working. So hopefully you enjoyed this quick little review. You know, I don't get any commission from this. I'm not associated with Petra Tools. It's just something I get, so I decided to share it with you all. So thanks for coming. Thanks for checking us out. We're always blessed to be able to do this, to be able to get products, test them out, try them out, share it with you, let you know if we like it or don't like it, and we're glad to have you along with us. So thanks for checking us out. As always, if you like this, hit like, hit subscribe, hit the little bell icon over there. Look up this way. We're going to post another video. I'll let YouTube pick it because they know what you like better than what I know what you like. So thanks for coming. As always, be safe and God bless.